I'm back. My apologies, Phoenix, but it's as the title says. Today is my first free day from static. Actually, let me get broader. Oh, farewell, Phoenix. I hope it goes well. Thank you for stopping by. Alright, I'm good to go. I forgot how ugly this guy is. Like, Nanja looks good. Okay? This guy, not so much. I truly am sorry to say this after you have come all this way, but I have nothing in particular to tell you. Nanjo's son said that very indifferently. After the incident on that island, it was taken up by the broadcast in a most indiscreet manner. Even my father, who was Mr. Ushinomiya's doctor and friend, was focused upon by many with a wholly regrettable interest. All of it was without proof, and they even managed to defile all of my father's previous achievements. I still feel a great deal of resentment because of that. Playing as Marisa's son, as a Jedi Knight. Wait, that's cool. I like that. The switch from Sith to Jedi. Okay. I can't wait to hear more about that. Unless you already sent it and I haven't read it, in which case I'm excited to read it. I think that's understandable. The same thing happened to me. I had to put up with it constantly since I was 6. True. My apologies. The doctor finally remembered that Ange was also a victim who has been exposed to the same curious eyes as he had been. In that case, you can probably understand why I don't want to have anything to do with that incident. That was an unfortunate incident. The only ones who want to make a fuss about it being a crime are those irresponsible TV shows and magazines. I am more than fed up with their attitude. Umipro side profile exclusive, heck yes. Nanja had been bathed with attention for being one of Ushinomiya Kinso's new friends. Because of that, there was probably an aggressive and persistent rush among the witch hunters and the press to use Nanjo's son as well, a surviving relative, as a source of information. The doctor went on and on, criticizing the press indignantly. You know something that I never thought about? My apologies if you can hear my sniffling. I'm not sick, but runny nose, allergies. Anyways, that first line there, that's something I never thought about. Like, you see this old man, Kinso, and you see that he has a personal doctor, and he's a rich, and, you know, Kinso's a rich man, so, you know, rich man contract, employ personal doctors for their mansions, right? You never know when you might need one when you're that old and you're sick. But the bit is that it says longtime friend. It's not just like, oh, I'm 60 now and I am getting sick, so I'm gonna employ a doctor. No, they were friends even before Kinso was sick. I am assuming, unless they mean longtime friend, and that just means like the 5 years ever since Kinso was 65 and now he's 70 or whatever. Like maybe they could mean longtime friend that like that. Or when I hear longtime friend, I think multiple decades. Like they've known each other since they were young adults. Maybe not that much, but like, since they were, you know, adults at least in their 25s or whatever. So I wonder if that means anything. It could just be nothing, right? It's just, you know, we're friends. We met each other. I mean, no, that's weird, isn't it? They don't really do just... I don't know. I mean, I guess Goda came out of nowhere as well, so it's not that weird to have a character that's just like, oh yeah, we happened to be friends a long time ago, and that's it. He happened to be a doctor, so when I got old and sick, I could get my friend to be my doctor because he's always been a doctor. But I don't know. And even so, where would it go from here? Where does this thought process go? Wait, no. Wait. Last stream, I completely just glazed over. I'm a BTBH with y'all. I was really bored last stream. Episode 4 has been great, and you know, the whole jail cell there was cool, but I was, you know, I was a bit snoozing through it. So I just glanced over the fact that Nanjo seemed to know what Kuwadorian was. He knew the dungeon and he recognized the tunnel, and Kinso was like, ah, old friend, you will recognize this place. So that means... So that explains everything now, I guess. Kinso employed Nanjo decades ago, before he was sick, so that Nanjo could help in whatever was going on in Kuwadorian. But like, why would you need a doctor? No, I forgot. Duh. No. Never mind. It's because there's two ways of looking at it still, right? I have two theories in my head. Either all the Beatrices in Kuwadorian were orphans from the orphanage, which means you don't really need Nanjo. You don't need a doctor for that. Or the other thought that I had a long ago, which I kind of abandoned, is that each Beatrice was a child of the previous Beatrice, meaning that you would want a doctor there to handle the pregnancies and the deliveries. But either way, as I was saying that, I recognized that no, it doesn't really matter the outcome there, because you would want a doctor at Kuwadorian anyways. What if a Beatrice got sick, right? You wouldn't want to take your orphan kidnapped child to the doctor and have them asking questions. No, you would just have a doctor at Kuwadorian to take care of the orphan while it grows up and make sure that it doesn't get sick or anything. So yeah, it makes sense. You would want a doctor in Kuwadorian. Which means that, okay, so again, Kumasawa was a maid in Kuwadorian, and through Butler's reading, she became Virgilia, because her name wasn't actually written anywhere, so Butler doesn't know that it was Kuwasawa. He just sees that there was a maid in Kuwadorian, so he created Virgilia. Genji was in Kuwadorian as a butler, so he became Ronome. I big doubt that Sayo was in Kuwadorian, at least not as a servant. Sayo was in Kuwadorian eventually as one of the Beatrices, but that doesn't, like, don't matter. That I'm just looking for workers right now. Goda was not in Kuwadorian. Absolutely, Goda was not in Kuwadorian. He's a new hire. But Nanjo was in Kuwadorian. So it means that if Butler read about Nanjo, he would have to create a new character. I could attribute Gap to Nanjo, but Gap doesn't exhibit any traits of Nanjo in my mind. That's all for now. Interesting. And this is all obvious, right? Like, it's just that I should have said this last stream, but I was snoozing through it. My apologies, but now I got it. So it makes sense. And yeah, this already makes Nanjo a much more interesting character. That he was involved in the crimes of Kuwadori, and he like legit doesn't seem to care. Interesting. He knows a lot. That's interesting. There are no pacing issues in episode 4. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. I really understand how you feel. For a person like me who was observed even in her own personal life, and whose privacy, likeness, and even human rights might have been violated, it's really easy to pick up on the anger of someone in your position. And for that very reason, I want to know, more than anything else, what in the world happened in that incident that so thoroughly ruined my life. So I came here. I am a related party just like you, not a magazine columnist or an interviewer. Please don't get the wrong idea. I didn't come to do this for fun. Quit looking down on me. If we're gonna argue over whose life was more screwed up by that incident, you're no match for me. Angie spoke sharply. The doctor, who hadn't imagined that he would be talked back in such a forceful manner, couldn't help but fall silent. From Angie's perspective, the doctor really was whining over nothing. She really didn't want to be looked down upon. It was about time to let him understand how many days had passed for her before arriving on this island. The doctor realized that he said something wrong and remained silent for a while, looking uncomfortable. I know it's probably painful to remember what happened at the time, but if there's anything you do know, please tell me no matter what it is. Of course, I'll keep quiet about it. I visited here today to bring some resolution to my life. I am 18. That incident took away 12 years of my life, and it'll probably keep on taking. Since that day I was 6 years old, I've remained shut away in darkness. Are you saying that despite that I still don't have a right to know? No, how rude of me. It seems that since all my others who came were ill-natured folk, I instinctively put up my guard. I apologize for my rudeness. I understand. If you'll swear not to breathe a word of this to anyone, I'll tell you everything. Thanks, Doctor. Then, if you would, please tell me anything you can. As you know, my father was not only Mr. Ushiromiya's head physician, but his friend through the game of chess. The relationship was a very long, stretching back to the time Mr. Ushiromiya moved to Ronkinjima. I hate when I say things right as they are about to explain it. I should have said it last stream. Why? Just how close were they? Very close, it seems. It seems that their connection through chess led my father to stay at Mount Ushiromiya's mansion quite often. Although I may not be one to talk, Mr. Ushiromiya was extremely moody. And my father was an exceedingly magnanimous man who excelled at interacting with humans like him. It's not hard to imagine that he was a rare friend for the isolated Mr. Ushiromiya. That day was the day of the family conference. At the Ushiromiya family conference, the inheritance and how it would be distributed were rigorously discussed, making it almost like a financial conference. Which means Dr. Nanjo must have gained a trust so great that he was asked to attend even that night. My father was a simple doctor, so I cannot imagine that he was in a position to advise on the distribution of wealth for a massively rich family like the Ushiromiya family. He was most likely called there to assist with Mr. Ushiromiya's health because it was not at his best at the time. As Kinso's close friend, I'm sure my father would have kept his mouth shut and there— crap! Mouth shut, and that he was trusted not to leak the secrets of the family conference. Wasn't Ushiromiya Kinso in very bad health at the time? That's literally what he just said. Were there any medical charts left behind? Perhaps he brought the medical charts with him on the day of the accident. I'm afraid to say that the entire folder of Mr. Ushinomiya's medical charts have been lost. He was my father's patient, so I do not know the details. Around the time of the accident, did anything strange happen? I like how I just use accident and incident interchangeably. My eyes cannot catch the difference. Yes, there was one thing. However, it seems exceedingly likely to invite misunderstanding, so I very much do not wish to discuss it. What was it? Please tell me. For a while, the doctor beat around the bush, but after saying that much, he wouldn't be able to fool Ange by dodging the subject. He eventually gave in, and after making Ange swear herself to secrecy again, told her. The truth is, several days after the accident, I received something by mail at my home. By mail? It was very curious. The sender was made out to be me, but I had no memory of it. Someone had faked my name and sent it. The destination was Rebum Island in Hokkaido. Exceeding the northern territories, it is the northernmost tip of Japan. The recipient was apparently a resident on Rebum Island, but the name was my father's. Gears are turning, but nothing to say. However, it seems that there was a problem with the destination address, so it was stamped as address unknown. Oh, hello? The game crashed. Okay. Oh crap, I didn't save. Well, I barely read anything. Visual novel too strong. My computer can handle it. Umipro's washed. Anyways, I guess I should say what I'm thinking right now. What I'm thinking is that maybe... I mean, it would have made sense for Kinso to do it, but anyways, doesn't matter who did it. But someone, Ushinomiya connected, sent a letter to Nanjo, and that's what made Nanjo go to the island, but that doesn't make sense because it didn't arrive until after the incident. I don't know, it's just a thought right now. Nothing that means anything so far. But someone faked his son's handwriting and name to try to get something from Nanjo, but what? And also the fact that it arrived after. There's a chance that Nanjo wasn't on the island at all now. And it was just a lie that he was on the island at all. And Nanjo was never on the island. But that seems unlikely. I figured I could use control to skip faster. I want to read this again. When exactly did it arrive? Several days after the incident, I received something by mail in my home. His home. But they lived together, right? I'm assuming, so it was for Nanjo. Skip. Man, when does Umineko get good? Oh no, okay, so it was meant to go to Nanjo's home, but it arrived... Weird. I mean, that probably means... Okay, no. That means that whoever sent this letter was directed for Masayuki. But they didn't know where Masayuki lived. So they did this whole charade of pretending to be Masayuki, sending it to Nanjo's home, and then having it returned, so it returns to Masayuki, the initial recipient. The actual recipient, I should say. So whoever sent this was trying to reach Masayuki. Okay. And it's someone who doesn't know where Masayuki lives. It returns to the sender, me. It was a truly strange tale. Nanjo's son's name was written as the sender. However, he said that he hadn't mailed the letter. In short, that meant someone had faked his name and sent it. The destination was Nanjo Teramasa on Hokkaido's Rebum Island. But the lot number written on it didn't exist, so the local post office had been unable to deliver it and sent it back to the sender, Nanjo's son. What was inside? I do ask that you keep silent about this. It is extremely troublesome to me as well, and even so, I cannot throw it away. I love when streamers says thing and think is linked to the nice letter. It's the Sam's classic, what can I say? The doctor stood up and faced the bookshelf. There was a packed group of dictionaries that could only have been ornamental, meant to make it very clear that the owner was an intellectual. When he pulled several volumes out from there, a large brown envelope peeked out from behind them. He took that out and tossed it onto the desk. It had been carefully sealed with cellophane tape. Cellophane tape. As it faded color and dryness, it made it clear that it had been sealed 12 years ago. I'm not trying to bully you, I'm literally doing the same thing. We are kin. We are the same. I ask most solemnly for your silence on this matter. Being so persistent that it was annoying, the doctor removed the seal with a paper knife. Then, when he tilted the envelope, an already open mail envelope spilled out. The envelope had a weight to it, hinting that there was something other than a letter inside. The recipient was certainly Nanjo Teramasa. Just saying that was a huge shock. Following that incident, Nanjo's corpse had not been found, and he had eventually been treated as dead after going missing under extraordinary circumstances. And despite that, this letter addressed to a Nanjo in Hokkaido existed. One could almost take this as a sign that he had faked his own death and escaped to Hokkaido. Was Dr. Nanjo really in Hokkaido? Or else, was there another person with the same first and last names in Hokkaido? If my father had somehow escaped from the accident and lived on in Hokkaido, that would have made us of his family very happy regardless of the circumstances. I also thought of that possibility at first. However, the envelope destination address does not exist. In short, this envelope was mailed that had no way of reaching him. Is there a possibility that the sender miswrote the correct address? Of course, I cannot deny it. However, judging from the resident's house number, I found that hard to believe. Hokkaido, Rebum Island, Rebum Country, Rebum City, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know, I don't think this part really matters. They just wrote Nanjo's name and then put a random address. And it don't matter. What matters is that they meant to have it returned to Misayuki. I forgot his name already. So what matters is who sent it. And for why. Up until Rebum City it's fine. But I just couldn't wipe away the feeling that the sequential number after it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, was a little insincere. It felt like a fake number that some kid had made up. Yeah, you think? They probably wrote a nonsense number that clearly didn't exist. I think it's natural to assume that, from the very beginning, this envelope was sent to a non-existent residence to which it had no chance of being delivered. Sems? Sit down. If the destination address doesn't exist, mail is generally returned to the sender. But even in the case of an incomplete address, the local post office will often courteously and to the best of its ability research to find whether the sender's intended destination exists. When they still can't find it, the mail is sometimes returned after an investigation of several days. It seemed that the same thing had happened with this envelope, and the stamp was postmarked on October 3. Yeah, I want him banned for 2 minutes. It was postmarked on Nijima. Nijima was a very way away from Reboom Island. No, it deleted his messages! I saw him post a little emoji of a guy right before everything got Thanos snapped. Oh, that was so sad. That's great. On top of that, destination was also nonsensical. It had taken more than a week for the mail to be returned. Wait, let me check Rosaland. He's gone. I miss him already. I'm sorry, Sems. I got power hungry. It's Ruby. Ruby's like that. Is like the warm tongue advisor to the king that just puts thoughts in my head. I'm sorry. It's his fault. Your messages are preserved in the stream at least, you know, because of the chat on screen. Thank goodness. Smooth. It was nonsensical. It had taken more than a week for the mail to be returned. In other words, there was probably a high chance that having the envelope returned to the sender after an unfixed amount of time had been the goal from the very beginning. Why do something like that? Even before asking what it was that had been sent, the envelope was already wrapped in mystery. And inside it? Go ahead. After getting the doctor's permission, I tilted the already open envelope. On the inside came a small folded letter, a small key with a number plate attached. Then, a magnetic card slid out. A112 was engraved on the key's number plate. I didn't know what it meant. The magnetic card was pitch black and had gold characters engraved in it. I'm not gonna do the research because I don't care enough. But what if A means a type of number? Like, you know how we use K for 1,000? I'm sure there's like other instances of that. What if A is like a million or something? So it's saying 112 million or 211 million or something like that. Whatever that means. Or maybe it's some scientific sign, like the letter for gold or something. I don't know. I don't care. The magnetic card was pitch black and had gold characters engraved on it. Members was written in English. The jet black gold lettered card design made it feel like something was very high class. But of course, I didn't have a clue what kind of card it was just from that. I unfolded the letter. Its contents were extremely brief and only the following was written. Sorry, I'm still laughing about Seb's getting Thanos snapped. What the heck? What was that? Okay. 07151129. It can't be a subsequential number because it starts with a 0. Leon! I was gonna make that joke earlier, Ruby, when it said the A112. I had to use everything in my body not to say it, okay? So thank you for saying it. 912, 9,000, 100,000. $1 million. I feel like we've seen this number before. I did this whole song and dance already. I played these games before, but I already forgot where we saw it. It's 92 million. No. 0715. It could be a date. The year 1129. I'm checking in my channel to see if 1129 is a date that I marked down somewhere. No, 1129 is unbelievably nowhere close to any dates that matter to this game. Who cares? Also written was the name of the certain massive bank known throughout Japan, as well as the word central branch. That was all. Wait, so it's just a key. It's a key to a lockbox in a bank. Is the number how much money is in it? Okay, tinfoil hat right now. Maybe that's how much Kinso paid Nanjo. Throughout the years, as Nanjo was committing atrocities in Kuwadorian. And someone wanted to mail that information to the son so that the son could find out what type of monster his father was. If the son goes to the bank and uses that key to open the lockbox, he would see the money and that it belongs to his father. It's like, whoa, what's happening here or something. I don't know. Wonder Silver, I'm gonna give you 0.000001.00 dollar. Thank you. It's either that, like it was specifically for the son to know the atrocities of his father, or it's like 500D chess and they sent it knowing that Ange would find it eventually and she would use it to piece together that Nanjo was also a monster in Kuwadorian. Either way, what matters is like who sent it. It cannot be Kinso. Why would Kinso want that revealed? So it's either Butler after he survived in Kuwadorian and found out the truth in Kuwadorian. So he wrote all that and sent it to the son so that he could piece together, he's trying to get the truth out there. But I already said that I don't think Butler wants to get the whole truth out there. If anything, he wants to keep the lie going so that the memory of Beatrice never dies. Because you have to mention, I just mentioned that number show of episode 3, and I also said Leon. I knew it. I didn't remember the Leon thing, but I knew. I mean, I literally said it. I said I played this game before. I knew I saw that number before. And last time they did come to the conclusion that it was a date, and I literally said the same thing. I literally just repeated everything I did at that time. And I believe it's what Eva used to figure out where the gold was. So Nanjo's son was just sent. It's too much. Okay, the whole revealing the truth of Nanjo thing, probably not true. Scratch that. If anything, it seems not like that Nanjo is the one that sent this. Specifically for his son, so that his son could find the gold, and the son could keep the gold for himself. Because Nanjo knew that he wouldn't survive the ceremony in Ronkinjima. So Nanjo betrayed Kinso at the very last second. But then why wouldn't Nanjo know where his son lives? Unless they were like estranged or something. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, so it's either Nanjo sent it, and for some reason Nanjo didn't know where his son lives. Or Nanjo sent it and specifically hid his son's address so that no one could, if someone found the letter or something, the post office or whatever, I don't know, just whatever. It was just meant to keep his son's identity anonymous, but that doesn't make sense because the son's name was written on the letter. So it's either those two options, or, like I said, Butler sent it so that the son could figure out the truth of his father, or Butler sent it knowing that the son wouldn't do anything, so that one day Angie could find it and Angie could get the gold. But, I mean, Angie already has the gold technically because of Emma, doesn't she? So, this is pointless. This is nonsense. I don't know, just put that all out there. One of those is close to the truth somehow, and that's all. Like, maybe what matters is not the gold, but like where the gold is. Like, what location the gold is will reveal truths. So that's why Butler would send it, so that they come closer to the truth. Perhaps. Anyways, this is pointless, stupid. And this is... it's a card key, a pin, a key. Oh, it's a card, a key, and a pin for a safe deposit box. And it wasn't a normal safe deposit box either. It was an unsettling one, which was apparently reserved only for special clients. After he finished putting his affairs in order following his father's funeral, he had visited the bank. Okay, so he did... Okay. Pin and key and card. There was no doubt that something of great importance was kept there. And he had been naturally curious about what it might be. At first he hadn't known what to do. The card wasn't something he owned in the first place. When he mustered up the courage and showed the card to a bank clerk, he was then switched to a clerk of clearly high status and was guided to a large vault in the 4th basement. The security on the way there was strict. The doctor had himself stored valuable items such as real estate transcripts and self-deposit boxes before. But this was something on a whole different level. Unlike the procedure at the deposit box I had been using, with the system, as long as you had a card, a pin, and a key, you didn't need to have your identity confirmed. But anyway, I was frightened at how imposing that secure vault was, and I wondered what kind of shady objects might await me that had to be stored in a place like this. And then, When I passed the card through the reader, I was asked to input the PIN. And after that 8-digit number was input and authenticated, I was permitted to access to the vault. It was an incredible scene. A world like something from a sci-fi movie. The massive, dimly lit silver room was covered with doors to safes. He had entered that room along with the clerk. It seemed that as soon as the card was read, the vaults he had a right to were determined. And so the safes that he could open were lit with a green light, while those he couldn't open were lit with a red one. A112 was one of those safes that were marked. By the way, there were several other safes marked with a green lamp besides that one. I think there were at least 20. There might have been one more in the other corner. In any event, I only had the key to A112. I had no way of checking the contents of the other safes. As the clerk watched, the doctor had unlocked and opened that safe. When he did, a safe drawer like a large cabinet had opened, and an expensive-looking duralumin case peeked out. Whatever, case peeked out. That was carried into a separate room where, for the first time, the clerk left and he was introduced to the contents. And the contents were? Cash. Cash? How much? I have heard that a pack of 1 million yen in fresh banknotes is precisely 1 centimeter thick. Since those were packed tightly into a duralumin case of such a size, there was probably 100 million in total. I don't know because I didn't count. I didn't even touch it with my hands. I realized at once this was dangerous money. It isn't normal to store a whole 100 million yen in cash in a case in a safe like that. Okay, so maybe my first theory was right. It was to show how much Nanjo was being paid for his atrocities in Ecuadorian. 600k USD. Honestly, yeah, that seems reasonable that Kinso would pay him that much for his work. If anything, I expected more. It's much easier to deal with if you put it in an account and turn it into numbers. When someone is unable to do that, then it's clear that there's something wrong with that cash. My mind went blank, and I instantly realized that I must get involved. So you didn't use it at all? Correct. I locked it back up just as I found it, returned it to the original safe, and left. I have thought about throwing away that key and card, but I don't know what will happen. For that reason, I have been hiding it in the back of this bookcase for a full 12 years. This is 1998, so right now that would be 1.19 million. Okay, that seems a lot more reasonable. Yup, I believe that. I really believe that that is money that Kinso was paying Ange. And whoever sent the envelope was sending it to Masayuki so that he could have a inkling of what his father was up to. My main culprit is Butler doing it, because it doesn't really go against trying to prove what happened in Ronkinjima, so I can see Butler doing it. I still do not know what kind of money that was. Can I borrow this envelope? No. Please just view it here. Understood. Then, if you'll excuse me, there's something I want to investigate. I took One-chan's grimoire from the knapsack I had set down. Then I opened the page that with a paragraph Beatrice had written to One-chan, and compared the handwriting on both. There was no mistake about the characteristic handwriting. The one who had sent this 100 million yen in cash was Beatrice herself. There's three culprits. Like, again, I wasn't against the idea that the grimoire was also written by Butler. Like, that one note was written by Butler. So it can either be Butler doing all this, which I am very inclined to believe. It could be... Like, again, I made the supposed discovery that Sayo is two people. So there's a secret person we don't know of. That secret person could be the real Beatrice. So it could just legit be her. Or it could be it just doesn't make sense. I was gonna say it could be Sayo. You know, she's, as far as we know, her whole thing is that she's been pretending to be Beatrice as the 19th visitor. And it's probably the one who Maria mistaked as Beatrice. But I've just been taking Sayo as a pawn of Kinso. So her doing this would be going against what Kinso would want, because why would Kinso want this? So either Sayo was going against what Kinso was saying at some points to get the truth out as she was being used, or Kinso, being like the actual culprit and mastermind, has been wrong since the very beginning. I've been on copium the whole time, and for some reason it's Sayo who's the culprit behind everything in reality, which with the context I have now, I would hate. I think that's very lame, but if that is the case, I'm sure we'll get more knowledge later on that makes me go, wow, Sayo's the best, or something, you know? Because, like, it's not that far-fetched. If Sayo was a failed Beatrice clone, she would want revenge on the family for allowing the crimes of Qualoria to happen, and she would want the truth to get out, to keep the memory of all the lost Beatrices alive, and so that they all get justice for what happened and for what she and all the other Beatrices went through. The more I think about it, the more it sounds plausible. And Kinso's just a fraud. But also, it's like, it's not that hurtful towards my Kinso belief, because Kinso's still the monster. Kinso's still the main antagonist of the game. Kinso's crimes is what created Sayo becoming a killer. So at its core, it is the Kinso mastermind. It's just that Kinso is the one ordering everyone to be killed. It's something that I need to like look over entirely, like the whole game. Because there's some things like right now, this episode, where he's very clearly ordering people to be killed. But again, this could all just be hogswash and an invention that never happened. And then again, it could be the other thing I just said, where Sayo is being used as a weapon by Kinso, but Sayo also has her own motives and is doing things behind his back. So there are chances where Sayo does kill Kinso without his planning in some of the episodes. It's very odd. It's all very odd, and it's something that I need to look over entirely. But for now, both stories are alive in my mind. Kinso being the main culprit. No, there's three. Either Kinso's the main culprit and Sayo is used as a weapon, and Butler is the one writing like the grimoire and the letter to... No. Butler theory is dead. Not as in the theory of he's surviving and he being in Comodoria. No, that's alive. What's dead is Butler writing this letter and Butler writing the grimoire. Because Maria would recognize the handwriting. She isn't stupid. She got letters from Beatrice during Ronkenchima, right? Like the letter they read in the conference. So she would read that and see that it's the same handwriting as the handwriting in her grimoire. So it has to be the same person. And Butler wouldn't be the one writing those letters in the family conference. So it's Sayo. Sayo's the one that wrote this letter. Sayo's the one that wrote the letters during the accident in Ronkenjima. And Sayo's the one who wrote the grimoire. So Butler. No. It's just no. Because the bottles. Didn't Angie say that the bottle letters were also the same handwriting as the grimoire? And I don't think those were. I don't want to believe that those were written by Sayo. I want to believe that it was Butler. I mean, Sayo was alive, right? Like, if she's the culprit, she has to be alive for the end of every episode. So, it's very entertaining. It's like Tom and Jerry when he is. Just okay, guys. Anyways, hold that thought. I won't forget what I'm thinking. I'm about to drop something huge, but I need to get my charger. BRB. I'm back. Okay. My thought that I had is Sayo needs to be alive at the end of the episodes if she is the culprit. Meaning that if Butler hid over in Kualorian with Eva, then Sayo would eventually go to Kualorian as well, right? Meaning that it's something we'll probably never see ourselves, but it means that Butler and Eva would have a talk with Sayo, and she would probably reveal everything at the end there. So who's to say that? I don't know, because now we're dealing with too much of a what-if scenario here, right? But like, who's to... I don't know. This is stupid. Never mind, this wasn't a huge bomb. This is nothing. Like, I feel like if Sayo showed up in Kualorian, Eva and Butler would kill her. Don't they have guns? But let's say they don't, and they have a talk. And Sayo reveals the truth of everything there. It's copium. It's copium. Never mind. Ignore me. I really want Butler to be alive, okay? I really want Butler to be alive, and I want Butler to be the one that's writing the letter bottles, but this new line of thinking is destroying that completely, and I don't want Butler to be dead, so, right, I'm sorry. I was about to say that Sayo and Butler wrote the letter bottles together, or something, like, that it was her handwriting, but that Butler alongside her was like, oh yeah, put that in there or something. I don't know. It's stupid. Like, why? Why would that happen? Why? Like, unless... That part of the song scared the crap out of me. I thought I was going insane. Okay, I don't know. There's so many thoughts in my head. I don't know. How about you read? No, I cannot. Let me think. Let me just think for a second. Shut up. Let me think. Handwriting. Because it's just because of the handwriting, it just means that it can only be Sayo. I don't know. I'm gonna read. But with my conclusion is Sayo is a weapon that was used by Kinso for the ceremony, but Sayo had her own motives at the end of the day, and she went against Kinso at multiple times during the episodes. And then at the end, who cares what happened? What matters is that Butler's still alive, and Butler's the one that, because of his discoveries in Kowadorian, he wrote the message bottles, but somehow it was with Sayo's handwriting, and I don't care, that makes no sense, because I want Butler to be alive, and I will keep believing that until something proves me wrong. We continue. But what is it? Something's bugging me. What is it? What could it be? That's how I'm feeling right now, Angie. Ew! Who is this? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say ew. I just didn't expect to be jump scared by random man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got something like that in the mail. Hey Ma, where you put that? Streamer! Holy. The same envelope and contents have been sent to Kumasawa's son, who had been once lived with her. It's just showing everyone except Goda's family is going to get something, because it's just showing what Kinso was paying them to participate and keep silent about the atrocities in Kowadorian. But he had been very busy in the days since and seemed to have forgotten about it while running around all over the place. However, its strange contents had apparently stayed in his memories, and he remembered as soon as Angie mentioned it to him. After a bit of a wait, his thin-lipped wife found the envelope, complaining that he always forget where he put things right away. The modus operandi for the sender and recipient was the same as Nanjo's son's. And it makes sense because why would Sayo know where the next of kin of the servants live? So she would need to do this trick to get them to that. I never thought about it, but that's like... I already made the connection in Rosaland, right, a while ago, about how Ronobe being so, like, cautious about Beatrice seeming elegant and ladylike is how my interpretation of how Genji was with the Beatrices to, like, get them to be couth so that Kinso wouldn't yell at them. I also realize how much kindness Genji uses with Kanon and Shannon. Like, there's like, in my theory, it is 100% a thing that Shannon and Kanon basically grew up with Kumasawa and Genji. So that sucks, doesn't it? Like, I'm sure they have some sense of respect for them, but they were still monsters that aided in your torture. So I wonder how much Sayo hates them. The modus operandi Ranji-san. The sender was made out to be Kumasawa's son, and the recipient was Kumasawa Chiyo. And the destination address was in Okinawa Prefecture. Okinawa Prefecture, Yaeyama Country, Yonaguni City, 1234567. Yonaguni Island was at the westernmost tip of Japan, and the lot name was the exact same sequential number that had apparently been chosen without much care. Now it was certain. This envelope was definitely sent with the goal of having to be returned to the sender. Its contents were exactly the same. A letter with the pin and the bank's main branch written on it, a magnetic card, a key with an attached number plate. The inscription on the number plate was A113, the number right after the one of the key that had been sent to Nanjo. Most likely, inside the vault was the same kind of duralumin case packed with 100 million yen in cash. I get the feeling my dead mother sent it to me from beyond the grave. Don't really get what's inside, and it's creepy, so I just left it alone all this time and totally forgot about it until today. So you know what this is, Garo? Kumasawa Sawakichi. Could it be that the same kind of thing came to your place? Huh. Ah! What is it, Anji-sama? Are you? Is it a headache? A headache? Sorry, my head hurts. I've got it. I know. What do you mean you know? You don't mean the envelope came to your place too, Anji-sama? I was gonna say, like, how very quaint that Saya would choose to send it to Butler's quote-unquote next of kin. But then it's like the only next of kin available because everyone else entire bloodline died, and they're like, Rosa doesn't have another next of kin. Rudolph doesn't. Angie is Rudolph's next of kin. Eva doesn't. There you go. I remembered. A strange envelope was sent to me 12 years ago. After losing my entire family, I was depressed, but it was a really strange thing that came in the mail, so I still had a faint memory of it. That was a strange letter, which I had no memory of sending, but which had me as a sender. I had forgotten the destination address, but the named recipient had been Ushiromiya Rudolph, my father. I remembered how disturbed I was when I got the letter. I thought it was from father. I opened it up. I found a key and a card that I didn't really understand. I felt let down and threw it away somewhere, I think. Where did I put that envelope? I probably lost it somewhere in the chaos that followed. By now I have no way of checking its contents. However, I have a general idea. I'm sure the contents were the same. Without a doubt, there had been a key, a card, and a note with a pin inside the envelope. Beatriz. What was she trying to do here? So, did she hand out the stupid money to all the surviving relatives? I won't forgive her for mocking them even after their deaths. What are you, Angie? Sakutaro acted nervously. As I looked at his worrying face, my agitation began to cool off bit by bit. I'm sorry. My hatred of Beatriz isn't anything new. I was just surprised and angry to find out that I had a connection with that witch already at the age of 6 on that day. For the past 12 years, I've been constantly enslaved by Beatriz-sama's curse. This might be proof of that a curse. But please hang in there. Breaking through that was supposed to be part of the goal of this journey. That's right. Just letting the blood rise to my head won't get me anywhere. Got to think calmly. What's going on? What's the meaning of handing out 100 million yen to the relatives? Is she trying to provoke us? Damn that Beatriz! Angie, calm down. Asakotaro buried his head in my stomach and urged me to stay calm. I took another deep breath and started thinking. Hello, Phoenix. I'm afraid you have missed insanity. I just finished going insane about Revelations. Revelations that I'm afraid I do not want to go through again for now. But I've been going through it. Oh, you know? Oh, Umifuo. Umifuo, yeah, right. I wonder if this envelope was sent to support the theory that Beatrice was behind that crime. It was postmarked right before the family conference, and it was intentionally set up so that it would be sent back after some time. God. They wanted it to arrive after the incident, is that it? Okay, so Sayo is the one that wrote the Grimoire. Sayo is the one that wrote the letters because they were sent before Butler knew anything. But because of my copium, I'm still saying that Butler is involved with the writing of the message bottles. Because I don't know, they just the way they were written is. Do I even remember how they were written? I'm doing the thing with Rosa and the thing with her being with Men for Money, where I don't know what's headcanon and what is things that I've actually read in the game anymore. My mind is a mess. So I don't know if we actually read one of those letters and the way they were written made me think of Butler because of how like sweet they were towards Beatrice. But that might just be a headcanon and we never actually read a letter. What made me even think that Butler... The only thing that made me think that Butler was still alive is the fact that he should be with Eva and Kuwadorian. And that it makes sense that he would also escape with Eva. And that Eva would use her money to silence him. So it doesn't never really have anything to do with the letters. I mean with the message bottles. I only connected the message bottles to Butler because he was the only culprit I would have of sending those, because I was, for some reason, assuming that, I was assuming that Saya was dead because, Saya was just another victim in my mind until just now, until a few days ago where I started thinking that she was more involved than I thought. But now that I have very concrete proof that Saya is the one writing everything with the handwriting, the thought that Butler wrote the message bottles is just dead. It's gone. It doesn't matter anymore. Because now I only attributed it to Butler because Butler was the only one left besides Eva, and why would Eva do it? So it had to be Butler. But now we have another person who it could be, Sayo, so yeah, just let it go, man. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Butler had nothing to do with the message bottles. It was just Sayo. Wah. But it doesn't change the fact that he should still be alive, because it makes sense that he would be with Eva and Kuwadorian. The end. The end. I'm sad. I really wanted him to be the one that was responsible for writing the message bottles. Whatever. Yeah. That's what it implies. But it raises a few questions. Why use such an uncertain method? Are you going to read? Shut up. This is what you want. This is what you get. Go enjoy Gum's playthrough. How about that? Oh wait, because he doesn't play the game now. Let's see. So quiet. Wait, was it Gum who was reading it? Yeah, it was Gum. Bro ain't reading or cooking. No streams for the rest of the year after now. You've earned it. Congrats, no more streams. Okay. Uncertain? Yes. After all, no one could even guess at how many days it would take for the mail to return before you use this trick. I'm getting feed anyways. Normally, you couldn't even guess the amount of time it would take for the receiving post office to do the research, determine that the recipient was unknown, and return it. Yeah, now that you mention it. Well, because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter when it gets to the next of kin. What matters is that if it eventually gets to them so that they can piece together that their family were monsters. It didn't have to arrive immediately or at a certain time. Saya would know that she is probably gonna be missing or dead. Honestly, now that I'm saying, that's another thing that I didn't piece together, that there's a chance that Saya is also alive still, unless she suicided after meeting Butler and Eva in Kuwadorian, or if Butler and Eva literally do just kill Sayo and Kuwadorian. Anyway. 2-hour stream where only 30 minutes is reading, or reading 3 hours in silence. That's what you get. That's what you get. I consider the greatest crime against humanity that I can have Sakataro. I agree with you. That his outfit looks so soft.
It'll be more dependable if they just set an arrival date and mailed it right away. What do you...
They did it this way because Sayo wouldn't know where the next of kin live. Maybe, but still, if they mailed it the day before, then no matter how quickly it returned, it would probably arrive Monday or later. I wonder if they wanted to make it seem like a letter from the dead. A letter from the dead, you say? You're right. It surprised me and it made me feel bad. Some mail with my dead family's name written on the outside in large letters was thrown into the mailbox with an ominous label attached. However, it doesn't really make sense to me. I would have mailed it to arrive on a specific day. I just can't understand why someone would allow it the uncertainty of it arriving on a day other than the one they imagined. Because it don't matter. It don't matter. Well, actually, it don't matter, and she didn't have a choice. She doesn't know where they live. Think, Angie, think!
What do you... But it really does sound like Battle to me.
Huh? You know about Bato?
Well, I only talked with her a little. Still, I can pretty much accept that Battle would do something like this. Can you imagine that happening to Mayman? Battle likes pranks like this, right?
Huh. Yeah, that might be true. Wait, back up again. Again, like, these revelations change everything about my thinking that I can't encompass it all in one go. So, there's also the fact that I've been blaming Butler for creating, you know, all the characters. But now, we see that that isn't the case. It should be Sayo. So Sayo created the stakes, Sayo created the Chysters, Sayo created Virgilia, Sayo created Ronove. The fact that Sayo made Ronove to be so kind, I guess Genji was a very kind man even when he was committing the atrocities in Kuwadorian. But the fact that Virgilia has a nasty side to her shows that Kumosawa had... It shows that Kumosawa had a nasty side to her in Kuwadorian. And this, like... Okay, so... The women being scantily clad, it was really funny blaming it on Butler, because, you know, the way he is. I don't know why Sayo would do that, but what this does help with is that the creation of the 7 stakes makes a lot more sense now, as opposed to Butler just creating these random women out of nowhere. Because if there's no if, it is a fact that Sayo came from the orphanage. So what if the 7 stakes and the bunnies are... No, there's two ways of looking at this. Either the 7 stakes and the bunnies are based on her friends in the orphanage, or the 7 stakes and the bunnies were imaginary friends that Sayo created while she was in the orphanage, lonely in there. And that mirrors the loneliness of Ange and how she thought of these to help with her loneliness. That makes a lot more sense than Butler creating them out of thin air. Yeah, Butler writing the message bottles dead on the ground. Just shot, and dead. Rosaline, help me, I'm losing it. I'm done, I swear. Okay. I will try my best to be done. I'll continue reading, okay. Check Rosalan. Remove and from your vocabulary. Problem solved is taking forever. Let's check Rosalan.
What are you? Can you fucking read? What are you?
But we enjoy theories. We are being fed. Guys, can we fucking meet? Guys, we fucking need him to get to the next chapters. Please shut up.
What are you? At least we get a stream per month. What are you?
Okay, guy. A stream per month. That's the part that got me. Whatever, guy. Whatever. They would say that. Okay. Yeah, that might be true. I wouldn't put it past Battery-sama to try a vicious prank like a letter from the dead.
No, that's not all. Beatrice would find it more interesting to do it through an uncertain method instead of one that was absolutely certain.
Say that again? She would find an uncertain method interesting. I remembered Maria Onechan's diary. I had this scribe playing with Beatrice very often. During those times, Beatrice sometimes played pranks on the adult relatives with Maria. But those pranks always had a touch of witch aesthetics, which was that they were more interesting when they were uncertain. One day, Maria Onechan and Beato decided to use a wind-up minicar she had bought for a prank. So these are just like Sayo playing with Maria. That's really cute. It was a popular toy at the time, and if you made the minicar back up, it would wind up the spring in the tires, and when you let go, it would race forwards. They had wound up the minicar and set it behind a milk jug. In other words, the prank was that if you lift the milk jug, the minicar would jump forwards and surprise whoever did it. 1 second. Right. Hoping that someone would get caught in the prank, Onechan and Bato had watched the adults from the shadows for their whole tea time. They were looking forward to seeing someone get caught by it, but no one moved the trapped milk jug and the trap ended in a misfire. When Onechan had then muttered, "We should have put it somewhere where it would have definitely caught someone," Bato apparently said this. She said, "The most interesting and thrilling traps are those where you don't know who'll get caught, or even if anyone will get caught at all." It's probably true that you wouldn't get this kind of excitement from a trap that would certainly go off. Similar accounts occurred in multiple places, making it possible to guess that the witch called Beatrice had a fickle character and loved the random thrill. A fickle person is very hard to deal with. I can't spin the chessboard around to find out what that witch from 12 years ago was planning. This game sucks. As Ange examined these, her gaze started from place to place. Then she suddenly showed interest at the wall. There, several framed pictures were hung. Many of them were commemorative photos from when the relatives of the Kumasawa family gathered or went somewhere to play, and Kumasawa was in several. And she still wore a smile that made it so you could almost hear her lighthearted laugh. It's part of my distant memory, but I definitely remember that she was this sort of cheerful old lady. Did you notice anything different from Kumasawa-san in the days leading up to the incident? Holy true. I just had to get it out. Whatever. This game. No, she looked the same as ever. The family conference put her on edge, so she was always grumbling about how tough it was. What's this? Among the several frames, there was one that had something other than a picture of people in it. It was a picture of an enlarged relief of a door from a Western-style house or something. You couldn't see any interesting subject in particular, which actually bugged me a bit as I wondered why anyone had gone to all the trouble of taking it. As I got closer, I realized that some characters had been written with a pen. Oh yeah, that's a photo I got when mother belongings were distributed. I think it probably has something to do with the legend of the golden thing. The witch's epitaph, you mean? It was whispered that it pointed out the location of the hidden gold, 10 tons of gold. So Kumasawa-san trying to solve it too. But this isn't the epitaph. It's the first time I've seen it. It was an arch above the Western-style door, and that's where the relief was. I mean, it's 99% Kuwadorian. aka just giga confirmation that Kumasawa was in Kuwadorian, but we knew that already. Have we seen any lion motifs anywhere in Ronkinjima? The only time we've seen anything lion related is Sakutaro. But that's meaningless, that's pointless. There's no... This is weird. Very odd thing I'm about to say that has no bearing on anything. But it's just like a fun bit of world building, I guess? We know that Rosa went to Kuwadorian when she was a kid and she met the Beatrice, right? So if Kuwadorian is the only place with these lion motifs on them, what if she saw the lion here and then years later that stuck with her, so she made the Sakutaro plushie to be a lion because of this engraved memory in her mind of Kuwadorian? That would be fun, I guess, but that's all I can say. English words were engraved there, and that seemed to be what this picture was focused on. The pen writing appeared to be a translation into Japanese. This door is open only at the probability of a quadrillion to 1. What? Oh, wait, is that why it's called Kuwadorian? Is that like the katakana spelling of quadrillion? 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 Kuwadorian? Kuwadorion? 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 But what does that mean? It means nothing. This door is only open to the probability of a quadrillion to 1. What is he trying to say? I mean, like, people went in all the time, so this is already not a thing. But what if it means like only one person can exit from that door? aka the perfect second coming of Beatrice. And Kinso thought that this perfect recreation of his Beatrice would only be a 1 in quadrillion chance of happening. And that's why he named the whole mansion after those odds. It's meaningless, I don't care. You will be blessed only at a probability of a quadrillion to 1. I don't recognize it. Nothing like this ever showed up in the epitaph or One-chan's diary. In Mother's belonging, there was quite a few photos and notes that looked like her trying to solve the riddle of the epitaph. Mother was actually surprisingly fond of that kind of thing. And there was that rumor that 10 tons of gold bars were hidden somewhere. It's no surprise she got so observed by it. In both Maria One-chan's diary and her grimoire, there was a description of the witch's epitaph. It had talked about how it was a ceremony to open the door to the Golden Land, Beatrice's resurrection ceremony, Beatrice's succession ceremony, on and on. Maybe the most interesting one that was the last part about it being a succession ceremony. According to Beatrice, if you were able to solve the witch's epitaph, you would receive not only the 10 tons of gold and the Ushinomiya family inheritance, but her own magical power and name, as well as the title of Golden Witch.
Among the Ushiramiya family household at the time, the witch's epitaph was thought of as a difficult quiz which the family head Kinso had arranged for to choose a successor. But with the mariage sorcery interpretation, the questionnaire was Beatrice herself, and she had posed the question in part to choose her successor. There were slight discrepancies in the details of the two interpretations. Either way, its ominous contents brought to mind a bloody serial murder, and both of the message bottles draw a tale of a crime following that pattern. If I could solve the witch's epitaph now, 12 years later, I wonder if I could expose the plot made back then. I tried to solve it many times myself, but I never did have a clue what it meant. And it seems that many witch hunters tried as well. I also found theories like the
Ah! What? Ah! At least you've got the reference? What in the world? Okay, whatever. I also found theories like the La Plata theory and the Honora theory in certain books. However, neither of these theories were conclusive. Now you're gonna say this game is awesome. What does it even mean? Yeah, I tried so many times, I never have a clue what it meant. See so many witches I tried as well. I also found theories like the La Plata theory and the Honora theory in certain books. What does that mean? Are those like actual scientific theories, or are these the names that the witch hunters gave to their theories? La Plata theory, what would that mean? That the gold isn't gold and it's actually silver or platinum instead? Whatever, don't matter. I need to stop caring about things that don't matter. Anything relating to the epitaph don't matter. I already concluded long ago that the epitaph don't matter. Epitaph is hogswash, meant to waste your brain and make you go stupid and distract you from the important things in life. Are there any other materials? I think so, but they were all split up between my siblings. I don't have a clue who was what. Sorry. Just reading this epitaph, this English text that Kumasawa-san took a photo of, it gives the impression that this was a forbidden door that was so rarely open. But where in the mansion is it, I wonder? Judging by the lighting, it looks like it's outside. I wonder if Kumasawa-san thought that the gold might be hidden in there. Who knows? Either way, I do wonder where in the Ronkinjima mansion it was. I hate to say it, but there wasn't enough money in Mother's bank account to make me think she found the gold. She probably didn't find it after all. The Golden Witch Beatrice gave 10 tons of gold to Kinso, which meant that the witch was the true owner of the gold. Beatrice was the owner of all the vast fortune of the Ushiramiya family. The witch holding this vast wealth had massacred the humans on Ronkinjima on that day, sending large amounts of money to the surviving relatives like it was a game. Like hell, it's a letter from the dead. This is the desecration of the dead. I was once again convinced. When my family died on that island that day, they didn't go to heaven. They're being trapped by the witch even now, and are being desecrated and tormented for all eternity. The last place Ange visited was a store in the region between the housing district and the retail stores, with a signboard saying Marufuku Sleep Shop. This has to be, never mind, I was gonna say this has to be Genji's next of kin. He doesn't seem the type to have next of kin, actually. There lived the man who had been the boat captain of the ferry boat to Ronkinjima at that time. Even he, who had once lived as a man of the sea, had retired after contracting a serious illness, and was now taken care of at the house of his son and his son's wife. Oh, I like this design. Kawabata. I remember it very well. You were still about this small. Look how you've grown. And it must have been very tough on you. I know very well how you must feel. The former boat captain was in such high spirits that you couldn't really tell why he had retired in the first place. His memory seemed clear too, and he could remember the events of more than a decade ago well. Apparently even about how Angie had been at the time. The way he chatted on was very helpful to Angie.
But at the same time, he also remembered the final Fantasy conference very well. And the fact that he remembered even details like Battler's fall madness on the boat was actually painful for her. It had been so back then as well that even now there was no public ways to cross the Ronkenjima. It was necessary to make an individual request to an owner of a boat to make the voyage. I have been unable to arrange for a boat to Ronkenjima, so if you refuse me, such a voyage would probably become hopeless.
I getcha. It won't be easy to find a boat eager to go to the island. By now, there are even some who call it by its old name, Akujikishima, instead of Ronkenjima. It's understandable why the sailors around here would turn down your request.
From the start, fishermen had feared Ronkenjima as an island of misfortune. And because of that incident 12 years ago, this fear had reached a peak. They respected the sea, feared it, and revered it. There were almost no sailors who would try to take a boat to the cursed island. Because of that, most of the witch hunters were unable to cross over to Ronkenjima, and were limited to taking a trip around the island. Ironically, this had caused the sense of mystery surrounding Ronkenjima to increase even more, which had resulted in the propagation of the bizarre witch stories they loved so much. Would you take me in your boat?
Yep. They're supposed to give it back to me just for tomorrow. Though it seems its engine has been in a pretty bad mood lately, I'll knock it into shape.
The former boat captain promised that tomorrow he would go back to his previous job and take his boat out to Ronkenjima. Now my method of transport to Ronkenjima is ensured. This is probably all I can do on Nijima. All that's left is tomorrow. On Ronkenjima, I'll reach the final destination of a journey that stretches back 12 years.
Isn't that great? This way it looks like you'll be able to go to that island.
It sure does. I've heard that it would be hard to find a boat, so the boat captain's helpfulness really saved me. Although it may not be the same as it was for you, Anji-sama, I'm sure the incident 12 years ago has been a thorn on the boat captain as well, one that he still hasn't been able to pull out.
Oh no, even the boat captain wasn't able to sort out his feelings this whole time.
That's probably true. If that guy had taken his boat out on October 5 as promised, there's a chance that he could have saved a lot of people. If he hadn't been hesitant to go out just because of that little wind.
Oh no, you shouldn't say things like that.
It was a typhoon!
I'm sure that pained the boat captain constantly until today.
Apparently they truly had been right in the middle of the typhoon on October 5. According to the boat captain, he had known for certain that they'd be trapped by the typhoon if they headed to Ronkenjima on October 4. But the family had been very persistent about the date of their conference, which had been determined beforehand. It was only natural. All of the relatives had been very busy at the time, and they came to the family conference only after arranging their schedules beforehand. It was probably a situation where they couldn't really easily push it back to the next week just because the typhoon was approaching. It wasn't the boat captain's fault, but perhaps you could say that he wasn't so irresponsible that he could place the blame wholly on the typhoon. Certainly, just as though these two said, there's no doubt that the boat captain had been dragging the events of 12 years ago along with him this whole time. And by taking me, the last member of the Ushiromiya line, to the island, and bringing me back safely, he might be trying to find some resolution for this past.
The boat is supposed to return this afternoon. I'll guide you to Ronkenjima after that, so we should arrive before evening. It's an island without electricity or lights. You won't be able to stay long. Will you be satisfied with the landing that short?
There's nothing that would make me more satisfied by staying longer. I'm grateful just to have you take me there.
Yep, don't mention it. If I hadn't parted with my boats, I'd be able to guide you to the island as much as you'd like without being stingy.
It's not like I have a goal of doing something in particular on Ronkenjima, so I'll be there during the evening.
It would be insane if, like, this whole time I've been thinking that Butler had to leave the island because, the police had to investigate there. And I was also assuming that the witch hunters would have gone to the island as well. But now we're saying that, like, we still have to deal with the police thing. But again, we can say that Eva paid them off. But the witch hunters and no one else after that has been to the island. Who's to say that Eva didn't keep Butler on the island to really ensure that he never said anything? And she's just been sending him like food and stuff. There's a non-zero chance now that this whole time, for 12 years, Butler has been on the island instead of my thinking of him escaping. Both are equally as outlandish because, you know, like I said that a long time ago, how would he escape? My way is that Eva did take Butler with her, but then Eva paid everything, money, to keep his rescue silent so that he wouldn't reveal the truth of what happened. But now even more cruelly and somehow more plausible is that Eva just left them on the island. Interesting. He's like 18, 19 or 17. 12 years. He would be in his 20s. He wouldn't even be that old. Interesting. Now I want that to be the thing. Anyways, continue.
The evening which straddles the two different worlds of day and night seemed almost like a borderline between this world and the next, or possibly 1988 and 1986, and it felt like the most fitting time to visit Ronkenjima. It's not like I have anything in particular to do there. Just staying there for a few hours should be enough for me to find some closure.
I forgot you existed, buddy.
At that time, there was a small knock at the paper sliding door, and Amakusa stuck his head in, tapping his watch. I nodded back and told him about how I had succeeded in reserving a boat for tomorrow.
That's great.
It's about time for us to go. We'll be counting on you tomorrow, Captain.
Sure, leave it to me. I heard all about what you guys have gone through. I also watch the talk shows all the time, and was disgusted by the people who stirred up that incident just for fun. I'll help out any way I can.
Thank you very much. Then, we'll see you noon tomorrow. Here. The fare for the boat. Ange took a wrapped wad of 10,000 yen bills for her pocket. The boat captain should have noticed his thickness as well, but he paid him absolutely no interest and shook his head.
I'm grateful to you. This is a sign from the heavens. I've been given a final chance to take you to Ronkejima and bring you back safely. Now I'll finally be able to finish the final job that Kinso-san entrusted me with. I'm grateful to you. I got more than enough money from Kinso-san back then. I can't accept yours.
Thank you very much.
Watch your step on the stairs. It's steep.
I went down the steep staircase, and that was the exact opposite of accessible. It was getting hard to believe that there was actually a chest of drawers and a TV in the room upstairs. Most of the first floor was a bedding store with many futons piled up on top of each other. We weaved our way through the cramped futon shop. After cautiously checking around outside, Amakusa dashed up first and started up the car. My grandchild's room is empty. I really wouldn't mind if you stayed here. As you see, we've got plenty of extra futons. Thanks a lot for the offer. But this way, even if the unexpected happens, you won't be bothered. I don't know the details, but it seems you've been caught up in a lot of trouble. There's a rumor that some suspicious people are searching for someone. That wouldn't happen to be you, would it? Who knows? Ange played dumb, but it looked as though the boat captain had guessed. Hi, Phoenix. My job is to take guests to Rokenjima and bring them back again. The job was put on hold 12 years ago, and it still hasn't ended. So thanks to you, I'll finally be able to finish it. So listen. Let me finish this job, okay? Do you understand me? Yeah. It's not like I'm going there to die. But part of me does feel that if I could die on that island, I'd surely be able to go to where my family is. I've finally become aware of it. I might have been planning to die on that island. I might have come all this way heading towards Ronkenjima in search of a place to die. The boat captain had guessed that as well. That's why he repeatedly told me not to die. Yeah, I won't die. I promise. After all, I'm still not sure if there's any reason why I need to go to Ronkenjima.
No, I'm sure there's a reason. Even if there isn't one for you, there is one for them. The island called you. That's why you came here.
That might be true. I might have been called. I was called. For what reason? For them. Father. Mother. Butler Oni-chan. And Maria Oni-chan. Or maybe the Golden Witch, Beatrice. What is on Ronkenjima? And what will I achieve? Even though tomorrow is finally almost there, I still haven't been able to understand my own mission. There was the sound of a car stopping in front of the store, and a short hook could be heard. Then, I'll see you tomorrow. If you'll excuse me.
Yep.
Winding between the stacks of futons at the cramped store, I was about to go outside. Then, my feet stopped.
What is it?
What is that?
That? What? What are you talking about?
Check Rosalind, important? One second, I'm not checking Rosalind yet. I got another DM. Alright, checking Rosalind. So what Ange sees, also make a save here, and finish the chapter, then unspoil this later. Okay, so don't read it, okay. Just make a save. I am scared, what are you on about? Trembling all over, I pointed at it. But no matter how much the boat captain squinted, he noticed absolutely nothing in that direction that should have surprised me. That must mean... Impossible! Why?
Ryu, Angie, what does it mean? What's going on here?
I don't have a clue either. There's no way something ridiculous. Is this magic? A miracle? Oh wait, crap. Mimi was saying that. And... No, Angie was saying that. Yes, this is probably fate. Now I understand. This was my mission.
Ryu?
I don't have a clue what... Shaking, I pointed into the thin darkness inside the store and froze up.
What is it? You see something there, don't you? I don't see anything. What is it you see?
Thank you, Captain. All of it was fate. Even me visiting this place was fate. This is the mission and the purpose that I'm going to Ronkenjima for.
Angie-san? What is it? Something wrong? I don't have a clue either. This girl just froze up while pointed into the darkness. Angie-san, are you okay? What can you see?
Can you two see it? It's that, right there. Can't you see it?
All I can see is a normal display case. There's no one there, right?
Ryu, Angie, I don't know what's going on. Is this a dream? Magic? What is it? Angie?
Sakutaro lifted his face towards Angie. From her eyes slid a single tear. Angie-sama, I understand. Oni-chan, and Beatrice.
What are you?
This is magic, isn't it?
Okay. So, we are absolutely certain that I should open that spoiled text. Yeah. Okay. Right now, what I'm thinking is that it doesn't really matter what she saw. I'm thinking that she just saw. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is she saw, it don't matter. When she saw something that just fixed her resolve. What she saw doesn't matter. It could have been a memory of her brother. It could have been her family. It could have been Beatrice looking down on her or whatever. What she saw doesn't matter. It's just something that built her resolve to continue on. Now I'm gonna unspoil it. Let's check. Alright. So for some reason, Alchemist decided to add the thing Angie sees in the background. Barely, but it's there. In the OG background in manga, you can see the silhouette of the thing, but it's not good enough to make out what it really is. Regardless, you are free to look at the background if you want. What she sees is later hinted at in this episode, and it's not something left hanging. We had a debate if we should really mention it to you, but in my opinion, we should just let you know about the inconsistencies and let your brain do the work in your case. It's not really a big deal since you are more than capable to figure out regardless with the later clues in the episode, but again, I just want to mention it. That's cool. Cool. All of you who had the debate, and Ruby who sent the message, very cool. That was cool of you. All of you are very cool. I appreciate that a lot. I did not notice it at all. And it's killing me. It's killing me and I want to go back. But I won't. I will not go back. For now, my own... Yeah, thank you for the save. You are all geniuses. So, my own interpretation is that it doesn't matter what she saw. Whatever she saw is just something that gave her the resolution to not resolution, the resolve to continue on. And it doesn't really matter to us as the player what she saw. It's just important to her. But I am curious. And there is an answer to it. And I will get the answer as we play. But I will not go back as much as it kills me. I knew you were gonna go back. Then you're proving me right as always. You suck. You suck. That's all I can say. And I'm afraid this was another stream where we read one chapter in 2 hours because 1 hour and 40 minutes of that was spent yapping. So I am gone now. The weight was killing me. Well, it'd be like that, don't it? It'd be like that. In 5 chapters, man. When does it happen? In 5 chapters? But let's also, wait a second. You and Sam said I would be happy in 2 chapters. It's been 2 chapters and I don't feel any happier. You will all pay. Good night, everyone.